Welcome to Farming Aid. If you're a poultry farmer, there's one silent enemy that can destroy your entire flock in days: disease. Whether you're raising chickens, ducks, or turkeys, the danger is real, and it's lurking closer than you think. Today, we're exposing the most deadly threats to your birds, the diseases that strike fast, spread faster, and wipe out profits before you even notice the warning signs. But don't worry, we're not just talking problems, we're revealing how smart farmers prevent disaster and protect their flocks. Stay tuned, because this video could be the difference between success and total loss on your farm. Poultry farming is a lucrative and rewarding business, but it comes with its share of challenges, none more devastating than the threat of disease. For countless farmers, a single outbreak can wipe out months or even years of hard work, turning a thriving business into a desperate loss overnight. Disease is the invisible enemy lurking in coops and cages, waiting for the right moment to strike. It doesn't discriminate between backyard poultry keepers and commercial operations. Whether you're raising chickens, turkeys, ducks, or quails, understanding and preventing deadly diseases is absolutely critical. Farmers must learn to see early signs, understand how these illnesses spread, and most importantly, know how to prevent and control them effectively. Every bird lost is a potential dent in profits, productivity, and trust in your poultry operation. But with the right knowledge and vigilance, you can reduce risk and keep your flock healthy and thriving. One of the most concerning aspects of poultry diseases is how quickly they can spread. In the tight, close-quartered environments where poultry live, especially in large-scale operations, a single infected bird can spread illness to hundreds, even thousands, in a matter of days. Diseases can come from multiple sources. Contaminated feed, unclean water, infected equipment, rodents, wild birds, insects, or even farm visitors who unknowingly bring pathogens on their shoes or clothing. This makes biosecurity the first and most important line of defense. Without strict biosecurity protocols, such as limiting access to the farm, disinfecting tools and housing, and separating new birds from established flocks, the farm becomes a breeding ground for deadly pathogens. Among the most devastating poultry diseases are those caused by viruses. These are often difficult to treat, extremely contagious, and frequently fatal. Viral diseases like Newcastle disease, infectious buzzle disease, IBD, Mareks disease, and avian influenza are nightmares for poultry farmers worldwide. They attack with intensity, affecting the respiratory, digestive, nervous, or immune systems of birds. What makes viral diseases especially dangerous is the lack of direct cures. Vaccination and prevention are the primary tools in the fight, and once a flock is infected, the only real options are containment and culling to prevent further spread. Newcastle disease, for instance, can kill up to 100% of unvaccinated birds in an outbreak. It spreads through droppings, secretions, and even the air. Infected birds may exhibit twisted necks, paralysis, nasal discharge, and sudden death. Similarly, avian influenza, commonly known as bird flu, can devastate entire poultry populations and even pose a risk to human health. Governments often require mass culling and strict quarantine procedures to contain outbreaks. These diseases don't just kill birds, they disrupt trade, force shutdowns, and cost billions in losses globally each year. Bacterial infections are another group of deadly diseases every farmer should understand. Bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Pasteurella multisida, which causes fowl cholera, can wreak havoc in a flock. While antibiotics may help in some cases, misuse has led to the rise of antibiotic resistance, making treatment harder and less effective. What's more, bacterial diseases can often spread to humans through contaminated meat or eggs, turning a poultry problem into a public health issue. That's why clean housing, proper waste management, and strict hygiene are essential. For example, Salmonella may not always make birds visibly sick, but it can remain in their bodies, contaminating eggs and meat. Consumers who eat undercooked products may fall seriously ill, leading to recalls, lawsuits, and a tarnished reputation for the farmer. Parasitic infestations also pose a constant threat to poultry flocks. Parasites like coccidia, which cause coccidiosis, lice, mites, and worms might not kill birds as fast as viruses or bacteria, but they drain their health over time, leading to reduced weight gain, poor egg production, and increased vulnerability to other diseases. Coccidiosis is especially common in young chicks and is one of the most economically significant diseases in poultry farming. It damages the intestinal lining, making it hard for birds to absorb nutrients. The result is diarrhea, weakness, dehydration, and death in severe cases. Because the oocysts, eggs of the parasite, can survive in litter and spread easily, regular cleaning, use of anticoccidial drugs, and vaccination are important preventive measures. Farmers must also be aware of fungal infections, which although less common, can still pose serious risks. Aspergillosis, caused by the fungus Aspergillus fumigatus, affects the respiratory system and is often found in moldy bedding, spoiled feed, or damp environments. It's a silent threat because spores float through the air and are inhaled by birds, causing breathing problems, lethargy, and even death. Maintaining dry, clean housing and using quality feed are simple but crucial steps to prevent fungal outbreaks. Nutrition plays a surprisingly large role in disease prevention. Birds with poor diets are more likely to fall ill. Malnourished poultry have weaker immune systems, making them easy targets for infections. Ensuring that birds receive balanced feed with the right mix of proteins, vitamins, minerals, and clean water is essential for maintaining health and resilience. Farmers must store feed properly to prevent spoilage and contamination and ensure water lines are clean and free of algae or bacteria. Monitoring is another powerful tool. Smart farmers keep a close eye on their birds every day. Changes in behavior, appearance, or productivity can signal early signs of disease. Are the birds eating less? Are their combs pale or discolored? Is there sudden weight loss or diarrhea? These are not just minor concerns, they could be the start of something serious. Early detection can make the difference between saving your flock and losing it all. That's why training farm workers to recognize symptoms and respond quickly is just as important as providing vaccines and clean housing. Working with a trusted veterinarian is also essential. A good vet can help you develop a vaccination schedule, recommend treatments, and assist with lab tests when you suspect disease. Poultry farming is not just about feeding birds, it's about managing a living system. Farmers who understand the science behind disease prevention and treatment can stay ahead of problems and protect their investments. For example, when introducing new birds to the flock, a quarantine period of 2 to 3 weeks allows observation for signs of illness. Even healthy-looking birds can be carriers of disease, so never mix new and old birds without proper isolation. Similarly, implementing all-in, all-out production systems, where all birds are removed and replaced at once, can break the cycle of disease transmission. Some farmers still take disease management lightly until it's too late. They may neglect vaccination, skip cleaning routines, or overcrowd their pens to save money. But the truth is, shortcuts often lead to bigger losses. Investing in disease prevention pays off in the long run through healthier birds, better productivity, and peace of mind. Even simple actions like rodent control, fly traps, and foot baths at entry points can significantly reduce the risk of outbreaks. Disease is not a matter of if, but when, especially for farmers who ignore the warnings. Another point often overlooked is the role of genetics. Some poultry breeds are more resistant to certain diseases than others. Choosing hardy breeds suited to your local climate and conditions can reduce losses. Genetic selection for disease resistance is an emerging field, and as more farmers adopt smart breeding practices, overall flock health improves. Combined with traditional management practices, genetic resilience offers a sustainable way forward. Seasonal changes also influence disease outbreaks. Rainy seasons often bring humidity and standing water, perfect conditions for bacterial and parasitic growth. In contrast, extreme heat can stress birds, weaken their immunity, and make them susceptible to respiratory illnesses. Farmers must adjust their management practices throughout the year. This includes using fans or ventilation in hot months, drying litter frequently during the rains, and adjusting feed as needed. A dynamic approach, rather than a one-size-fits-all routine, is what separates successful poultry operations from those that struggle. The psychological impact of disease outbreaks on farmers is often underestimated. Imagine seeing hundreds of birds die in a day, helplessly watching your income vanish. The stress, guilt, and anxiety can be overwhelming. That's why building a support system, networking with other farmers, joining poultry associations, attending workshops, and staying informed, can make a huge difference. Knowledge is power. The more you learn about disease symptoms, biosecurity, vaccination, and nutrition, the better equipped you are to protect your flock. In the end, poultry farming is a battle against time, cost, and invisible enemies. But it's a battle you can win with preparation, awareness, and consistent care. Understanding deadly poultry diseases isn't just about science, it's about survival. It's about ensuring your birds are not just surviving, but thriving. It's about protecting your family's income, your workers' livelihoods, and your reputation as a reliable farmer. So don't wait for disaster to strike. Be proactive. Take disease prevention seriously. Your flock, your business, and your future depend on it. Your flock's health is the backbone of your poultry business, and knowing the threats is your first line of defense. These deadly diseases don't just harm birds, they destroy livelihoods. But with knowledge, preparation, and strong biosecurity, you can stay one step ahead. Don't wait for symptoms to show or for losses to begin. Act now, invest in prevention, and protect your farm's future. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with fellow farmers, because every healthy flock starts with informed choices. Stay smart, stay safe, and keep your birds thriving.